Nicki Minaj went nuclear on Grammy night, launching a series of explosive posts aimed at Jay-Z that included shocking allegations about his past. But the situation escalated even further when Beyoncé reportedly stepped in to defend him, saying things that stunned fans. On February 1st, 2026, during the Grammy Awards, Nicki took to X and posted dozens of messages over several hours, starting around 8 p.m. Eastern Time and continuing past midnight. The immediate trigger appeared to be a joke by Grammy host Trevor Noah referencing Nicki's absence and linking it to her recent support for Donald Trump, though the tension between Nicki and Jay-Z had been building for years. Their dispute traces back to 2021, when Jay-Z sold Tidal to Square in a deal valued between $297 and $320 million. Nicki was among 16 artists who were promised a 3% equity stake in 2015 in exchange for promoting the platform and providing exclusive content, an agreement she has repeatedly implied was never fully honored.
Well, y'all, Nicki Minaj is back on X, and she's coming for Jay-Z. So in a series of tweets, Nicki Minaj is claiming that Jay-Z owes her $100 to $200 million so far.
Tidal was marketed as an artist-owned streaming platform, relaunched by Jay-Z in 2015 after he acquired a company for $56 million. At a high-profile event in New York, 16 major artists were introduced as co-owners, including Nicki Minaj, Beyoncé, Rihanna, Kanye West, Madonna, and J. Cole. Each artist was reportedly promised a 3% equity stake in exchange for exclusive releases, promotional support, and helping drive subscriber growth. Nicki did her part by releasing the Feeling Myself video exclusively on Tidal and publicly endorsing platform. However, when Jay-Z sold Tidal in 2021, Nicki later claimed she was offered just $1 million for her stake in an amount she rejected as far below what she believed she was owed.
Was a partnership, he gave artists some ownership, including J. Cole, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, and then when he sold the company back in 2021, Nicki Minaj had always said that she felt like she wasn't paid out what she should have been paid out. She was only offered $1 million at the time.
Media outlets such as Variety reported that each artist owner received roughly $8.9 million from the Tidal sale, but Nicki Minaj strongly disputed that version of events. She claimed she was told the deal generated no profit and alleged that the $1 million offered to her was hush money meant to silence her. By July 2025, Nicki said her demand had grown to $100 to $200 million, factoring in what she described as accrued interest, which she labeled a karmic debt. She connected the claim to her Dow student of the game initiative, stating that any settlement will be used to help pay fans' tuition and student loan debt. However, industry executive Steve Stout offered a different perspective, arguing that Nicki and other artists never held formal equity because key documents were never signed. According to him, several artists did not complete shareholder agreements, meaning the equity promises were more promotional than legally binding. Public records from the UK's Companies House and US SEC filings appear to support this view, showing Tidal's holding company was primarily controlled by Jay-Z, with no explicit documentation of shared ownership among the artists. The corporate structure, often routed through Delaware-based entities known for limited disclosure, further obscure transparency around equity distribution.
Well, I'll tell you this, I have no idea about their business, but if someone owed me $200 million, then I would be in court, not on X, and I guarantee you if she ever took that to court, that would be a huge...
A point raised on the Breakfast Club underscores a key detail. As of February 2026, Nicki Minaj has not filed a lawsuit. Despite repeated threats of legal action, no case has been brought forward, which critics point to as a possible weakness in her claims. Nicki has firmly denied accusations that she failed to sign required paperwork, arguing that the highly publicized 2015 signing event should be considered a valid agreement. She has accused Jay-Z and Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez of restricting access and spreading misleading information about artist returns on investment. Similar disputes have surfaced before, notably when Kanye West sued Tidal in 2016 for $3 million in unpaid royalties and bonuses tied to the Life of Pablo case that was ultimately settled out of court without public disclosure. Together, these incidents suggest a broader pattern of artists questioning Tidal's equity promises. The Tidal money dispute became the foundation of Nicki's wider accusations against Jay-Z, setting the stage for her claims of sabotage, her political shift, and her Grammy night outburst. The $200 million demand remains her central grievance, and while she has expanded her criticism to other areas of Jay-Z's influence, both Jay-Z and Roc Nation have remained publicly silent. That silence has left the conversation largely one-sided, allowing Nicki's narrative to dominate social media, with fans debating the credibility of her allegations across platforms like X and Reddit. The financial dispute over title equity was only the beginning of Nicki Minaj's accusations against Jay-Z. By 2024, her grievances had expanded into claims of career sabotage, with the Super Bowl halftime show becoming a major flashpoint in an escalating feud. In September 2024, the NFL announced that Kendrick Lamar would headline the Super Bowl halftime show in New Orleans, a decision that sparked intense backlash. Many fans and artists expected Lil Wayne to be featured, given his deep ties to the city. Nicki accused Jay-Z of ego-driven bias in choosing Kendrick over Wayne, framing the decision as deliberate sabotage of Southern artists. As Roc Nation's live music entertainment strategist for the NFL, Jay-Z holds significant influence over halftime show selections, and Nicki claimed he used that power to punish Lil Wayne over personal issues. She contrasted the situation with Eminem's 2022 halftime performance, where Eminem insisted on including 50 Cent, arguing that Jay-Z could have similarly ensured Lil Wayne's presence if he had wanted to.
She felt like Lil Wayne. She feels like Lil Wayne should have been the performer at the Super Bowl in New Orleans.
The accusation carried added weight because New Orleans holds deep cultural significance in hip-hop, and Lil Wayne built his entire career representing the city. His absence from a Super Bowl hosted in his hometown struck many fans as a deliberate snub rather than a coincidence. Nicki Minaj positioned herself as Wayne's defender, framing the issue as both a cultural slight and a personal betrayal, which intensified the emotional stakes of her ongoing conflict with Jay-Z.
She did a whole list.
She said, "Dear #Jay-Z, you ruined hip-hop, you ruined football, you ruined basketball, you ruined touring, you ruined Instagram, you ruined Twitter. The jig is up. All of this is alleged and for entertainment purposes."
This growing list of accusations showed just how far Nicki Minaj's grievances had expanded. She was no longer focused solely on alleged financial wrongdoing, but was accusing Jay-Z of abusing his influence to corrupt multiple industries and platforms. While many observers felt the scope of these claims strained credibility, Nicki maintained them with unwavering conviction. Hosts on The Breakfast Club echoed what others had noticed. The feud had become deeply personal for her. Her defense of Lil Wayne merged with her own unresolved disputes, creating a layered conflict rooted in business loyalty and perceived betrayal. Birdman, co-founder of Cash Money Records and Lil Wayne's longtime mentor, publicly backed Nicki, calling the Super Bowl decision disrespectful to both Wayne and New Orleans support that lent a sabotage narrative added weight among fans. But the allegations went far beyond the halftime show. Nicki claimed Roc Nation interfered with her tours, including a lack of promotion for the second leg of Pink Friday 2, and even suggested her 2024 Amsterdam arrest of marijuana possession was orchestrated retaliation rather than coincidence. She further alleged that her fans were being silenced online, urging the Barbs to document suspensions and account flagging, which she believed were coordinated efforts to suppress her influence. Taken together, these claims painted a picture of an expansive surveillance and suppression campaign, including allegations of monitoring and tracking details that raised serious skepticism among critics, many of whom viewed the narrative as increasingly extreme.
Now, I say all that because people think that Jay-Z coming out on stage with his wife in Paris to do N-words in Paris was to distract from all of this Nicki Minaj.
Y'all are ridiculous. I want to say something, though. If Roc Nation controls all of social media, how come they can't stop everybody on social media from spreading all the negative stories about them?
About Beyoncé.
The Breakfast Club pushed back on the conspiracy theories with a straightforward counterpoint. If Roc Nation truly had the power to control social media and suppress negative coverage, they would have used it first to shield Beyoncé from criticism. That argument exposed inconsistencies in Nicki's claims. Nicki also alleged that the second leg of her Pink Friday 2 tour received inadequate promotion from Live Nation, questioning whether Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez's daughter, who reportedly held a role at Live Nation, had any influence over the alleged lack of support. She went further by referencing the alleged suicide of a Live Nation representative shortly after she complained about promotional issues, implying foul play without presenting evidence. Her broader accusations included claims of shadow banning on social media and the use of bots to boost artists like Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, and Doja Cat, whom she framed as manufactured rivals meant to undermine her dominance in female rap. While these narratives resonated strongly with her fan base, they were not supported by verifiable proof. Adding to the confusion, rumors circulated from an Instagram post claiming Jay-Z and Roc Nation had issued a cease-and-desist letter threatening a $5 billion defamation lawsuit if Nicki continued mentioning them. The post sparked debate over its authenticity, with some viewing it as intimidation rather than a legally enforceable threat given protections around public figure speech. The cease-and-desist claim was never officially confirmed. The sabotage allegations marked a turning point in Nicki Minaj's conflict with Jay-Z, expanding it from a financial dispute into what she framed as an existential threat to her career. Whether these claims reflected real industry retaliation or veered into paranoia became a subject of heated debate among fans, critics, and industry insiders. While Jay-Z remained her primary target, Beyoncé was occasionally pulled into a controversy, most notably through a disputed beat tied to Nicki's 2018 album Queen. In October 2025, Nicki posted explosive claims on X, alleging that Jay-Z demanded a beat she had already legally secured for collaboration with The Weeknd, insisting it belonged to Beyoncé instead. Nicki said she refused to give it up and was later sued for creating a similar track, which she portrayed as retaliation. The post went viral, drawing millions of views and tens of thousands of interactions. Although no specific song title was named beyond the collaboration from Queen, Nicki intensified the controversy by using a derogatory nickname for Beyoncé and claiming she was pressured to surrender the beat, then punished for refusing. This language directly suggested Beyoncé was complicit in the alleged disputes, though Nicki framed her as passive rather than the primary antagonist. The beat controversy fit into Nicki's broader narrative of Jay-Z using his industry power to suppress competition, claiming he retaliated against her refusal by interfering with her music releases and career opportunities. In the same series of posts, Nicki also alleged jealousy toward Nas, stating she was sued for hundreds of thousands of dollars over an unreleased collaboration titled Casino. She went further, accusing the Carters of mimicking her and her husband Kenneth Petty's style for years, portraying it as an obsession in which the music industry's most powerful couple copied her aesthetic while simultaneously working to undermine her career. Beyoncé, however, has remained completely silent publicly, consistent with her long-standing approach of avoiding social media drama. She has not responded to any of Nicki's claims, including the beat dispute, the alleged lawsuit, or the derogatory nicknames. Nicki has explicitly denied targeting Beyoncé in later posts, and when speculation arose that a deleted X post might have been a subtle jab at Beyoncé's Sir Davis whiskey promotion, Nicki called it an absolute lie. She has repeatedly emphasized that her issues are exclusively with Jay-Z, not his wife. Evidence of cordial relations between the two women does exist. For instance, in March 2025, Beyoncé sent Nicki a bouquet congratulating her on the Pink Friday 2 tour. Nicki shared Beyoncé's congratulatory gesture positively on social media, suggesting there was no direct personal animosity between them and contradicting theories of a feud between the two women. The artist had previously collaborated successfully on Feeling Myself in 2015, a track that symbolized mutual respect and artistic synergy at a time when both were at career peaks. Beyoncé redefining visual albums with her self-titled release, and Nicki solidifying her dominance with a pink print. Fan reactions to Nicki's comments about Beyoncé were sharply divided. The Barbs generally supported Nicki's claim that her issues were aimed solely at Jay-Z, while the Beehive accused her of indirect shading and defended the Carter family as a unit. These online battles often amplified the perceived drama beyond what her statements actually suggested. Like the title equity allegations, Nicki's beat dispute claims remain unverified. No lawsuits over the alleged beat theft appeared in public records, and neither Jay-Z, Beyoncé, nor their representatives issued statements addressing the accusation. As a result, the claim existed primarily within social media discourse rather than as established fact. Speculation on social media also extended to Jay-Z's alleged son, Rymir Satterthwaite, who had claimed paternity for over a decade. In January 2026, a court dismissed the case and ordered the plaintiff to pay Jay-Z's legal fees. Nicki reposted about the case, alleging that Jay-Z had framed Rymir and even suggesting Beyoncé bribe the judge to protect their image claims that remain entirely unsubstantiated. Overall, the Beyoncé connection illustrates how Nicki's feud with Jay-Z inevitably touched figures adjacent to him. Whether intentional or incidental, her accusations force fans and observers to view the Carter family as interconnected rather than separate, adding another layer of complexity to an already contentious situation, culminating in her explosive Grammy Night Out